So the first thing I'm going to talk about are the platforms that I use. Some of you guys, a lot of you guys, especially the wedding clients, find me through Wedding Wire. And then I have people that find me through Google and they go to my website. And then I have some that use social media platforms, Instagram or Facebook. All of them eventually end up getting to me. Now, my most preferred form of contact that you guys can use is the website itself. If you go to my website, www.adornedoccasion.com, there's a Let's Connect tab on the homepage at the very top of the header. If you guys go there, you'll click on that link, you'll see a connection form. This form is very useful and it eliminates a lot of back and forth in the initial contact because I get to capture all the information that you guys want to relay to me, ranging from what kind of event you're trying to do, how many guests you're expecting, what budget you're trying to stay within, where it's going to be, what your vision is. And most of my clients have a Pinterest board, and on that form I have a section where you can attach your link to your Pinterest board. That gives me some insight into what it is that you're interested in, what it is that inspires you, that's inspiring your event. I love using that Pinterest board that you have created to sort of give me an idea of where to start versus just communicating via text. It makes it a little challenging, and in that case, if you are not into filling out forms, which I can understand because sometimes I don't feel like going through an entire form, I just want to talk to a person. Some of you guys call me directly and we set up an appointment and we meet, but right now, because of social distancing, we can't exactly meet face to face, but I do host virtual meetings. Basically, I use Zoom, I can use Google Hangouts, GoToMeetings, Skype. We can use any of those tools to communicate face to face. We can even FaceTime on my phone if that's what you prefer to do. It's just, I'm still going to ask for the same information that we're going to fill out on the form anyway. So usually it just makes the process that much easier for us. So now that we've addressed how to connect with me through my website, all the other platforms, whether you come through Facebook, Instagram, or even Wedding Wire, I will respond to you guys typically within 24 hours, and sometimes depending on my schedule, it may be a little longer. So that's why I encourage you to go directly to the website, because all that information is in. It automatically comes to me. It feeds into the system that I use to sort of go through the events that are coming up, be able to determine that I have your data available without having to go from one platform to another. All of that stuff is in there, so it's much easier for me if you use the website. But it's not to discourage you from using the platform that you're comfortable with. So all the other sites, like I said, whether it's social media or Wedding Wire, I will respond, and once I respond, I will then ask you pretty much everything that the form asks you of over the phone. I will ask you if you have a Pinterest link, and I'm going to ask you to email it to me so I can at least look at it. And from there, we start the design process. Initially, it's a free consultation, so we make sure that I'm the right fit for you. It's very important that you pick a vendor that's the right fit for you, not just on technicality on how they execute something, but as far as energy. Do you guys get along? Is it easy to communicate with that person or that vendor? Do they have your best interest at heart? Are they listening to what you're saying? Are they interested in what's meaningful to you? Those are very, very critical things to have up front and to establish up front before you invest. So that's why I love office meetings for that reason, for you guys come in, we get to meet each other and talk. But because we cannot, again, we can set up a virtual meeting or wait until such time when we can meet. Hopefully it's soon. So now that we've kind of talked about that, I'm gonna go ahead and break down the 3 methods in which I address, I'll say, 3 different types of clients. Now, This is just an umbrella type bracket. It's not necessarily saying these are the only clients I cater to, but it sort of covers most of you guys. So I have a client that can come in and say, I have no idea how this is going to look. I need your help to figure out what it is that I should have. All I know is these are my colors because I've already picked my bridesmaids colors, right? So this is somebody I call a blank canvas. We're literally starting from scratch, and through conversation and maybe sharing of ideas from what inspires them, whether they find something in a magazine or online, we're going to start to build a concept together. The second type of client, this is a client that typically has already booked a wedding planner, or they have a wedding planner in the family, and so they come to me with a blueprint. I call it a blueprint, at least, of what it is they're looking for. So typically they're like, I know what I want to know if you can execute it within this budget or within these constraints or with these colors instead of the colors that I'm looking at on the pictures that I'm showing you. So with this client, I'm not starting from scratch per se. I'm sort of saying, okay, yes, we can do this, or we cannot do that with the budget constraints that you have. The third client, this is a client that I kind of call the finishing touches client. This client pretty much has done all the design work themselves, or with a planner, or with somebody else, and they need help to execute what they have together. So you may already have purchased certain elements for your design, you may have already booked certain rentals, but now you need help to figure out how do we put this together. That's the third type of client that I work with. So I'm gonna kind of work with you guys through how I work with each of them briefly, and I'm also going to refer to you guys to some resources that you can use to get in touch with me as far as support with your design ideas. Maybe you want to do some things yourself at home because maybe the budget just doesn't allow for you to hire a designer or a decorator, things like that. So we're gonna get into that a little bit.